I'm Sam, I'm the town planner and I work for Waveney District Council and Suffolk Coastal District Council in Suffolk in the planning policy team of the council, which has the responsibility of preparing a local plan for the area. Well, there's no typical day, so my job involves helping to prepare and implement a local plan. And that involves trying to understand how much growth we need in the area and how that growth can be distributed across the area. In doing that, we also need to work out, well, how can we best protect and enhance our natural and built environment in planning for that growth. In an urban area like Lowestoft, an also key challenge for us planners is to understand what can we do with derelict industrial sites such as those behind me. We need to understand how we can bring those sites back into a useful, viable use. Also, in preparing a local plan, we need to consider a whole multitude of issues, such as impacts on transport, impacts on the economy, and most importantly of all, we also need to understand what the local community wants and desires for their local area. It's not just about writing a plan, it's also trying to implement the plan. In doing that, we need to continue to work with communities and also with the development industry to help see those plans brought to life. To get into the career, it's important to have a degree in a planning subject or a related subject such as environmental studies or geography. But ideally you also need a postgraduate degree in planning, which will enable you to become a member of the Royal Town Planning Institute. So I've always had an interest in geography right back to when I was at school. In fact, it was one of the only subjects I was particularly good at. So when I was making my choices for GCSEs and A-levels, I just chose to do what I was good at, and that was geography. And in carrying that through into my degree, I chose to do environmental science at the University of East Anglia. Following that, I still wasn't really certain as to what I wanted to do as a career, and a job came up as an environmental planning technician for a local council, and I took that and not knowing too much about what the job entailed. But being in that job, that introduced me to the world of town planning, and that made me realise that actually everything I'd learnt about in my education could actually be applied in a really useful way by being a planner. So I eventually managed to get myself a job as an entry-level planner, and with that I was able to take a master's level degree in town planning, and from there on I've entered into the profession with the professional qualification of a Royal Town Planning member. Well, firstly, you need to have an interest in the built and natural environment. You also need to be creative, as planning is, in its sense, a real creative task. You also need to be able to communicate effectively and be able to think strategically and consider issues from a number of different viewpoints. Well, being a planner gives me the responsibility of helping to improve the area and make a real difference to people's lives, and that's what really gets me up in the morning. But if you have an interest in the built and natural environment and want to make a difference to your local area, then planning is probably the career for you.